Do you think that you want to look for a home with HOA or without an HOA? Let's find out now. I'm Casey Serafino Lee, Realtor to the San Francisco East Bay, specifically Hayward and the surrounding communities. I talk about things real estate related so that I can make buying and selling homes easier to understand and more achievable. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button below, as well as ring that bell so you can be notified when I drop a new video weekly. Today, let's talk about a question that I often ask my clients, and it results in a great deal of discussion. Do you want to buy a home with an HOA? It usually results in them asking, first of all, what is an HOA? HOA stands for Home Owners Association. It is the association that runs the rules of the homes, called CC&Rs. Another acronym. This stands for Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions. These are limits and rules placed on a group of homes or a condominium or townhome complex put in place by the builder, the developer, the neighborhood association, or maybe the homeowners association. So basically, it's the rules for the homes. So just to clarify, the CC&Rs are the rules and the HOA is the one that carries those rules out. The first thing that you need to know is that the HOA fees vary widely, and you need to know what they are. I've heard of HOA fees ranging from $125 a year to $625 a month. This is a good time to tackle the topic of planned communities versus a townhome and condo community. Planned communities are usually single-family homes. These can be gated communities or not. And in Hayward and surrounding areas, these are typically in newer home communities. Two examples of these HOA communities are Eden Shores community near the Union City border near the bay, and you can catch the video at the end. And Stonebrae community, which is in the Hayward Hills, which is gated and has guards. And the Eden Shores community doesn't have gates or guards. You also need to know that 99% of townhomes and condos are pretty much always run by HOAs. The second thing that you need to know is that with this variance of fees, what exactly does your HOA provide for you? HOAs in these planned communities, as well as townhomes and condos, can have a wide variety of amenities. They can have golf courses, pools, tennis courts, playgrounds, basketball courts, soccer fields, greenbelt trails, and the list can go on and on and on. HOAs can also vary as well as what they actually do for you. Will your HOA fee cover your landscaping and maintenance? Will they maintain the roads and the driveways and the amenities? Will they cover the maintenance and replacements of the exterior of your building and roof? Although that last one is actually generally only the case for townhomes and condos. The third thing that you need to know is the rules of the HOA, or actually the CC&Rs, which are those written rules we talked about. They might tell you that you always have to park in your garage, or that your grass can only be this high. They might say that you are only allowed to plant certain trees and where they can be placed in your yard. A common one is that there can't be an RV, a trailer, or a boat anywhere on the property, which means that you need to rent a space to park it, which is another cost. They usually generally tell you what colors you can paint your house, how high or low your fence needs to be, and even hours for watering your lawn. The fourth thing that you need to know is if your HOA has any rental restrictions. Let's just say you're buying a townhouse or a condo, and this is your first home. At some point, you may decide that you want to step up to a single family home, but keep that townhouse. Can you rent it out? HOAs have very clear rules about renting them out. They can have a no rental rule. Only owners can occupy. They can have a percentage rule, which means that a certain percent can be rented out. For example, let's say that the percentage is 30% of the units can be rented out. If there are 100 units and 30 of them are already rented out, then you wouldn't be able to rent it out until that number dropped. Or the third scenario is they may have no rental restrictions. The same goes with planned communities and houses with the rental restrictions. But the important thing is you just need to know. The fifth thing that you need to know is what is the process of conflict management within the HOA. Whether you have a complaint or maybe you're the one being complained about. Complaints are always going to arise with residents who break the rules, and it happens. But before you buy, know how those rules are enforced as well as the penalties. Sanctions are going to be strict. In some HOAs, there's going to be fines. Some you can be sued, and yet others, they might place a lien on your home. But you need to pay particular attention to the fact about the HOA. If you don't pay your HOA dues, can they foreclose on you? Now, I'm sure from all of these points, you are going to feel like HOAs are a little overwhelming and maybe even strangling a little bit sometimes. But here's where an example of where HOAs are good. Let's say you live in a condo and it needs a new roof. You're not anticipating that cost, but because you have been paying HOA dues all along and you know that it is the maintenance that they take care of and you've been paying all along, you've basically been paying for the roof little by little, you're not going to have to pay for it and you're not going to have to do the work. You're hassle-free. If you live in a single family home with no HOA, you have to find that money or save for it. Ask me. I know. Living in a planned development and being governed by an HOA can be a little bit of a mixed blessing, and it depends on the type of person that you are. It offers the prospect of exchanging some of your control of your home for reduced responsibility of maintenance and maybe a little bit more enjoyment of amenities and security. Here you will have homes with a more uniform appearance, which is always good when you have that neighbor that wants to have Christmas decorations up year round. Or maybe you have that neighbor who thinks that the 3-foot-long grass is really attractive. Or the neighbor that has bad home maintenance habits. It's always a little bit of a trade-off. But maybe you want to do your own thing and HOA is not for you. So, what's your opinion? Would you rather go with an HOA or no HOA? Comment below and let me know. I'm Casey Serafino Lee, your local realtor, helping you love where you live in the East Bay. Oops, sorry, wrong way.